Hi, Year 5 and 6. The spelling rule we've been looking at today is CIAL or TIAL suffix, and that sounds like shull, e.g. an example would be special and initial. Usually these words are adjectives and they derive from French or Latin. Okay, so what I'm going to do in a minute is I'm just going to show you a little board I've just written up quickly to explain the rule. Okay, so I'm just going to do that now, and then if you look at the words that are underlined, those are the words I really want you to work at the spellings. So there's the shull rule, CIAL, and the TIAL rule, but we've also got exceptions, and I'll try to explain those exceptions. And then on Friday we'll have a little spelling test and see if we remember the rules we've learnt, and hopefully we'll get them right. So, and if you don't, just try again. The more we practice with spellings, the better we get. Okay, Year 5 and 6. So I'm just going to show you, turn my camera around and show you the board that I've just written. So, see you in a sec. So, okay then, we're looking at the suffix CIL and TIAL, CIAL and TIAL. They sound like shull. So an example would be special or initial. These words are usually adjectives. They derive from Latin or French. I know Year 5 we looked at Viking words. So the English language is made up of a lot of influences from different countries. Okay, so our first rule is CIAL words. What's the letter before these CIAL words? Social, special, beneficial. Okay, have a look at the letter before the suffix. So in social, SOCIAL. Beneficial, special. Okay, so we'll notice, hopefully, that the letter before the CIL suffix follows a vowel. Okay, so in social, it's SO. So the letter before is an O, which is a vowel. Special, it's an E. Beneficial, it's an E. It's an I, sorry. So all those words have a vowel before the suffix. So the general rule is if we've got a vowel before the suffix, it's CIAL. Okay? If we look at what's the letter before these TIAL shull words, essential, substantial, and partial, you'll notice that they are consonants. Okay, so the rule is use CIL suffix after a vowel, use TIAL suffix after a consonant. Okay, we've got a few exceptions, and my consonant exceptions are, if we look at CIL financial, we've got a vowel because the word derives from finance. Okay, so we're sort of dropping the E in these exceptions. In these CIAL exceptions, we're dropping an E, and the letter before tends to be a C, which is a consonant. So if we look at financial, which derives from finance, we drop in the vowel E and focusing on the C. The same with provincial, which derives from province. Okay. Now, there's another exception to the TIAL rule, and really we have to learn these. Initial and spatial are two examples, and a really controversial word is controversial. because it's the shul sound, but it doesn't have a C-I-A-L suffix or a T-I-A-L suffix. It's an S-I-A-L suffix. So I know that that will be in our spellings on Friday. So basically, if we go through, the spellings I'd really like us to focus on, and which we'll be tested on, are special, initial, social, beneficial, essential, substantial, partial, and financial, provincial, and controversial, and initial. Okay, so they're the spellings I'm going to test you on come Friday. Okay, so they're the words that I'd like us to learn. Remembering that rule, CIAL words, okay, that suffix comes after a vowel. Okay, TIAL suffix comes after a consonant. Remembering those CE root words like finance and province, that gives us, we drop the E and it gives us financial and provincial. Okay. Also, we need to really learn those words initial and spatial. Okay. So there we are. And another good one to remember is controversial. Controversial, which is very controversial because it's got the S-I-A-L suffix. Okay, so they're the words I'd like us to work on for Friday, and I'll be giving you a spelling test. We'll be going through those on Friday. If you could, for extra dojos, if you could write a sentence for each of those words, that would be fantastic. So good luck, Year 5, on the spelling rule shul, the CIAL words, and the TIAL words. Okay, so I will speak to you again on Friday with our spelling test. Good luck and get learning. I hope you've spotted Mr. Jones's deliberate mistake, or just it's just a mistake really. Sometimes even teachers get their spellings wrong, and if we look at the word spatial, I think I originally put it as CIAL, but it is one of those exception words, and so it ends in the suffix TIAL. We all make spelling mistakes. That's why sometimes we use the Word documents and we use spell checks. But it's a good word to remember, spatial. So Mr. Jones made that mistake, which is very easy to do because it can be quite confusing at times.